I got rights to talk, bro.
You got no rights here.
I do.
You're illegal, brother. Get up. I was born and raised here. What about him? I was born and raised here. I have the right to talk.
Okay, all right.
I'm starting to resist more now.
We're gonna end up shooting somebody. Just remember, you can spell that too with a $30,000 bonus. Yeah.
I don't give a shit what side you're on. That should not be okay. Okay, I don't give a fuck if you're red. I don't give a fuck if you're blue. That is an American citizen, 18-year-old boy, getting arrested by ICE, again, American citizen, being told by ICE that he has no rights. And in the commotion, his phone drops while it's still recording, and it picks up the officers later stating that these people that they're arresting are resisting more, so soon they might have to start pew-pewing them. They then go on to joke about the $30K bonus, say things like, that's funny. Our ICE agents should not be operating like this. They should not be taking joy in their own destruction and then celebrating a $30K bonus, laughing about all of this. Saying, oh, they've been resisting more often. Looks like we're going to have to start shooting them. That's crazy. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. This is not going to end well. And I know the thing about, look, FBA, we staying out of it, yada, yada. That's not why I'm making this. We've seen this before. And I can also say that we've seen brothers, we've seen Hispanic folks who were in lawful, law enforcement have this same ideology that these cops have with this young Hispanic cat with us. Like, hey man, we're gonna have to start shooting them, I'm gonna get a bonus, yada yada yada. But I mean, for us, it's kind of one of those situations where I don't know if this is gonna end well for white America, because there's an interesting relationships with white American Hispanics, and sometimes a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Mexicans fall under the white moniker, and kind of the fourth wave, because Irish wasn't white and it became white, and Italian wasn't white and it became white, Jewish wasn't white and it became white. And now, I guess Mexicans was like, well, we kind of, we white-ish. So, when are we going to become white? This is going to, this whole, I guess these next 3.5 years, I don't know if this is going to end well because, you get the guys on the internet and YouTube who talk about the criminality, the prison politics, how, Hispanics and white people are clicked in, they tight. They like, hey man, that's probably gonna come to an end. And it's that thing where, sometimes we see non-white groups get smacked around by white people and then act like nothing ever happened when it's all said and done, and just kind of fall back into the fold of the same thing. But for me, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. It's not like the illegal immigration thing. I understand it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you let, one administration let a bunch of people in, one administration kicking a bunch of people out. Okay. But for all of the other businessmen who are using folks, it ain't working out. All of the I saw a clip of a guy on Instagram. He's like, he's a white guy. He was like, his wife took a picture of him. He's like, he worked today like he says the Mexicans work. His whole face was swollen. I guess he was doing construction. I don't know how his face was swollen. I don't know, but it's like, what the heck? But this scenario about the happiness, the cheerfulness, the glee of, we gonna have to start shooting some of these people, and we're gonna get a we doing this for our bonus. It it's I don't think that community is gonna respond the same after stuff like this, because what usually comes next with videos like this is that the actual shooting starts happening. Young guys, whether they're American citizens or not, wind up getting killed in this whole process. And then we already know how that goes. If the cop kills somebody, if they're illegal, it's like they're gonna go like, well, whatever kind of situation. But if they're United States citizens, they're gonna go like, well, I was doing my job, yada yada yada. Let's sweep this under the rug, let's cover this up. And that same the same things they say to us of, what was he doing? We didn't see the full tape, and it's understandable. And if it was me, I would have did the same thing. And it's unfortunate, but hey, white guy got to go home to his family. I think when other groups protest in America, they are far more violent and they cause a lot more damage because they don't care. You get what I'm saying? We get blamed for a lot. Black people, we get blamed for a lot. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think this is something that non-black groups are accustomed to. I think this is more of a thing that they're accustomed to participating and being on the other side of killing a minority. You know what I'm saying? Because remember I remember when the Asian community protested when the Asian cop killed a brother in New York. It's like they protested all over the United States, and be like, oh, okay, cool, all right. Thus, when the COVID thing happened, you really didn't see us black people like, whatever. Hey, y'all got it. These situations, we've seen the Hispanics, the police officers, the politicians, especially on the West Coast. There's been other places, but they've been the biggest stories. The targeting, making fun of, disrespecting, all kinds of stuff. And I don't necessarily know if the loyalty that people think they have to the United States is going to actually go through after all of this. And I'm not saying it to be like, hey man, um, nana nana boo boo type thing. That's not at all. But it's kind of like I think white America don't realize that this is a wake up call for Hispanics that they may not ever want to be white ever again, and you might wind up with an enemy. And because a lot of Hispanic people swear, think they're white and think they actually come from Spain and all that. And Europeans white folks, Caucasians are constantly giving them the, no, you ain't, but they not catching on. So when I see stuff like this, I don't know if they know, but yeah, they might actually start just, you're gonna have your if it keeps going like this, you're gonna have your Rodney King, your y'all say crazy about George Floyd, but George Floyd and Philando Castile, you're gonna have these events because the reason I say that is because when I hear that the disrespect and that, I know what comes after that. As a black man, I know what comes after that. You know, there are some people who got on the uniforms that's itching to off y'all. Itching to off y'all. And the other part is gonna be there's gonna be other Hispanic cops watching their fellow officers that they know are loose cannons off one of their own people right in front of them. And then the police force is gonna be like, hey, shh, shh, shh. And it's gonna be the same thing. They're gonna push out a Hispanic cop or chief or something to just get on the news and social media to go, oh, we don't know the true story, yada yada yada, and it ain't gonna, and I don't think it's gonna go over that well, you know. And the reason I say that is because people don't respond like we are so accustomed to the racism. People think we just letting it slide, but we not. But people's mentality is gonna break and shift when they go, oh, okay, that's how it is, and even when they think about Hispanics and even in movies, they play the role where um, they don't play by the rules if you break the rules. So it is what it is, right? So it's gonna be one of those things where, man, you know how they say, people always say they want to kick off a race war in America, and normally us black folks are targeted. If this goes bad the way it looks, they're gonna kick off a race war with Hispanics. And my bad, I'm tripping. And I don't know how that's gonna end, But for if you're Hispanic and you watching this and you don't understand this, yeah, I feel for you because how some of your people are, even when they're in law enforcement. To us, y'all about to see the Gestapo tactics on y'all for real, and and they're not gonna care if you're a citizen or not. You get what I'm saying? And white folks, I don't know. You might not be able to put you might not be able to close Pandora's box after you open this one. So we'll see. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Tell me what you think. Peace.